One of the most amazing things that I find in this journey with substance use disorder is how people routinely believe that if they just stop drinking or they just stop doing drugs, that in fact will get them back. And that is just not so. Just because you stop using your drug of choice, as a loved one, we need to understand their brain has been hijacked. It has been rewired. It has been damaged. And on average, it's going to take them 12 to 15 to 18 months of no use at all, and then consistent reprogramming of their brains. Because I can tell you the crazy that goes on, their addict's brain is telling them, oh, you can just do it once, won't hurt you. We've been clean and sober for 6 months. We got this covered. And so really, truly understanding that their brain is trying to get them back into addiction mode because it hasn't been rewired enough yet. They have quite a journey to go on. And simultaneously, we have a journey to go on too. We're trying to learn, how do we love this person, communicate with this person, potentially rebuild connection and trust again with a person who is newly sober or newly clean and sober. How do we trust them? So we've got our own rewiring to do. Sometimes, we've been through it with them for so long that we don't trust them. And when something shows up, we automatically think, oh, there they are doing it again. Are they lying to me? Not lying to me. Are they really telling me the truth or not telling me the truth? Are they sneaking behind my back? And so we have our own rewiring to do in order to begin to suspend disbelief, to suspend judgment, to suspend thinking the worst of what's happening, and truly wait for confirmation if in fact they have relapsed, when they've been clean and sober for long enough to hopefully talk through them letting us know if in fact that's happened, which honestly is a big lift because the shame of relapse is so drowning. I've watched it with my son. And no matter how much I've told him that I love him and I care about him and I will always be there for him with boundaries drawn, it's still a really tough climb out of the hole of shame and stigma and judgment for the person who's been dealing with their own substance use disorder, much less those of us who love them. But it's part of the journey. So please remember, just because they stop drinking or they stop doing their drugs doesn't mean you're going to get them back in a month, 6 months. It's going to take a while, and it's going to take consistent reprogramming. They really do need the consistency of a great group surrounding them. They really do need the consistency of doing the trauma work, the counseling, the talking to people who are wise beyond their years because of their own journey with this disease. Trauma really is the hungry ghost that lies beneath the surface of addiction. So every time we think that it's about the addiction, we are ill-informed. Our thought is that the drug or the alcohol or whatever the addiction is the problem. The person who's in substance use disorder believes it's the solution because it is the solution for them to not feel the pain of whatever it is that they've been through. Understanding that was monumental in my understanding my son's disease. And so my compassion for him, not knowing what traumas he was dealing with, but knowing that that was the hungry ghost that was driving him, the need to minimize or kill the pain was what was driving him. And he really needed to resurrect and pierce the veil of what traumas he was, in fact, dealing with. And so that gave me the courage to be so much more compassionate with him, and knowing that those traumas needed to have air and needed to heal in order for him really to get in that place where alcohol, drugs, any sort of substance use was no longer necessary, because the pain was minimized or the pain was gone. So remember, please remember that just because they stop means it could be years of them doing the work. And then remember too, that who you're going to get back on the other side of that is a person that has transcended and includes their experience with substance use disorder in who they become. You never get the person back before. You get a wiser, more compassionate, more understanding person on the other side of this, who understands life at a deeper level, understands compassion at a deeper level, understands the journey, not only their journey, but our journey at a deeper level. They're skilling up while we're skilling up to bring patience, to bring compassion, to bring curiosity, to bring love to themselves and to the rest of us. And I want you to remember this notion of just because you're dry or you're clean doesn't mean you're healed. And it could be decades before somebody actually does the work to excavate what's really been going on. I want you to remember that whenever the substance use disorder started, basically, and most of the time it's in their teens, maybe even early teens or before that, their maturity was arrested at that point. So they're going to need years to mature up from their disease. So it could take them 10 years of clean and sober and doing all the work of maturing before you begin to really see an adult in their wisdom. So please have patience for them and for you. Please exercise courage, because you've stepped into the unknown, and so have they. It takes courage to do this work. And I want you to acknowledge your courageous authenticity in these moments. Be genuine. Be authentic. Drop the judgment. Drop the shame. Drop the anger. Drop the sadness. And live into the joy and the happy and the laughter and the possibilities of creating a new relationship built on trust and love. This is what I call thriving. I want this for you, and I want this for them. And I want you to know it takes time, but it's so worth it. It's so worth it to get this new person back in your life and for you to be back in their life, grounded in love.